Hi, good night. Welcome to my live. Thanks for joining us. I'm hoping that you can join us in the chat. Our discussion topic for tonight is the one of the latest news about Jhonni Blaze. She used to be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She's an artist, and recently she was on the Joe Budden podcast, and she was being asked about, well, I'm not sure if she was being asked. I haven't listened to all of the podcast in full, but basically I want to talk about her accusations towards her mother and her mother's response regarding what she said. All right. So I just want to um, first of all show you a little clip of what her mother had to say in regards to her being molested as a child and how her mother allowed people to molest her. Well, we're going to get into it in detail, but before I get there, I just want to, let you briefly see her mother's reaction to the story. All right, so give me a minute here. Let me see. I am going to bring it up so we can, you can understand where I'm coming from. Well, I don't think we need to get to what Jhonni had to say about it, because it's basically my own opinion about what is happening. Whether it my opinion be the truth or not, I'm just sharing what I think is happening. Now, what you just saw there was her mother's response, and you see where her mother is screaming, right? She is crying and she's being very vocal, very emotional about her daughter's accusations. And we have to get past the tears, because we know that there are a lot of reasons why people cry. People cry because they are happy, right? Yeah, people cry because they are happy. People cry because they are sad. People cry because they are angry. People cry for a range of emotion, to show a range of emotions. So not because she is crying means that, what she is actually saying is the truth. And it brings me to this question here. Um, do children tell lies? And do parents tell lies? So let us start with um, children. Do children actually tell lie on their parents? Yes, they do. There are some children who will tell lies. And we know that, from even baby stage, you'll tell the baby, don't put your hand in the jar of cookies. And by you turn your back, the hand goes in there, and you turn around and ask them, why did you do that? Why did you take the cookie? And even the baby will lie and say, no, I didn't take it. I didn't take it. Or try to put the cookie behind their hand. So we know that, yes, in fact, children do lie. Jhonni Blaze is not a child at this stage. She's a grown woman. And we know, yeah, you have adults who will lie on their parents for a number of reasons. Yes, of course it is. It could be because she wants her name to be mentioned in social media, just as I'm mentioning her name here now. She's doing it for publicity. Yes, that's a possibility. It could also be that she wants to get back at her mother for some other reason, some reason that we are not being told of. That's a possibility. But as much as we can talk and say, yes, the child is lying, we can also say that the parent is lying, right? A parent can lie for many reasons. Sometimes these topics come up and they're not so easy for us to talk about, especially when it comes to molesting someone, right? If someone is being molested, it's hard for people to accept um, that someone, especially someone that close to you, has actually done something wrong, whether it is to a family member or to somebody else who is not a family member. I can recall even the whole trial with Nicki Minaj's brother and how people viewed it. Nicki Minaj was being supportive of her brother despite him having, I'm not sure, don't quote me, whether raped or molested someone else. I don't remember the details of that story, but I think he ended up in jail for it. But she was there helping him to pay for legal fees or so. I think that's what the news said. If that's not it, then so be it. But the whole thing about it is that, close the door, please. People do not really like to acknowledge that this is going on in their families. So the mother's reaction there, where she's crying and tears flowing down her face, she's emotional. It doesn't mean that whatever she's saying is based off the truth. It could be that she is embarrassed or ashamed and do not want for this information surrounding her family, despite it being her own child, that this was actually committed against. She really doesn't want to deal with the public insults, which is what she also says in the live that she did, right? That why would persons be coming over to her page and attacking her for things that she did not do? So before all of this attacking on the internet happened, her mother did not come out and say, "Listen, this did not happen," because this is not the first time that Jhonni Blaze has spoken about it, and she said it in the podcast that she actually stated it before, right? So if this is not the first time that this topic is coming up, why is it that the mother decided to go on the internet and to cry and carry on like that? She probably did it because of the public embarrassment and the accusation that was behind it, because she's saying that she might possibly she could go to jail if whatever she is saying is true, because she being a parent and not having addressed the molestation would have caused, things to happen down the line. Either way, I am just side eyeing the mother. Okay? Just side eyeing the mother. But at the end of the day, who do we believe? Tell me, who do you believe? Do you believe that Jhonni Blaze is right in what she said? Or is it that the mother is reacting? Or is it that the mother is correct in what she is saying? At the end of the day, you really can't take a side on the issue to know. But what I want to talk on is that in our community, right, of Black people, this type of thing is something that is, prevalent, where people try to cover up things like this happening in families, right? And not to say that it is in the Black community alone, it's just that I am Black and I want to speak on what it is that happens amongst us. It's not that I'm saying that we're the only ones who do these type of things, right? But I'm acknowledging it at the same time that it does occur. And oftentimes, when children go to their parents to let them know that, this has occurred, yes, you do have situations where the parents don't want to acknowledge or want to cover up the situation and not address it. And even if what the mother is saying is true, based on what Jhonni Blaze is telling us, that at 14 and 15, she was going around the place, going to all different kinds of places and doing whatever it was that she wanted to do that was actually adult like behavior. So, in that instance, where was her mother during that time at 14 and 15? Right? At 14 years old and 15 years old, you're the mother. Where were you and why was it that you were not there for your daughter? Right? From the day that I saw this girl on Love and Hip Hop, she did not seem as if she had it all there. She was very aggressive, and I'm sure if you watch Love and Hip Hop, I don't think it's Atlanta, I think it was New York, Love and Hip Hop New York. I'm sure if you watched it and you saw her behavior there, you would probably think that yes, she had some type of, trauma in her childhood because she was very sexual. That was the first thing. And she was also very aggressive, especially towards other women, right? So these are signs that, yeah, something is actually taking place upstairs that she has not actually addressed, right? And even up until now, that type of behavior has affected her in the media and how people actually view her. I think everywhere she goes, people views her as being aggressive. I did not like watching her on that show. She is a very sexy woman. She looks very curvaceous. I don't know if she had any surgeries done. But either way, as you see it from her face there, she is very pretty, right? Very beautiful. But behind it, what she had a very nasty attitude, trust me, right? And even up until now, even though she seems to be quite calm when she's talking, according to her, she has changed. I think she's now on Growing Up Hip Hop, but I am yet to watch it, so I don't know if what she's saying on screen she seems different. I don't know, but from all the things that I've viewed her on, she was always very, very aggressive. Very aggressive. But these are the type of behaviors prone to many children. Children rebel and lash out because they think that they don't have a voice when these things are happening to them. And so they grow up trying to deal with it themselves, some to turn to drugs and other things. And so you have to be very mindful of these things happening in the quiet of your home. Sometimes you can be in your bedroom sleeping, and the person who is your mate can get up out of the bed and go and abuse your child. It is possible. It is possible because when people have their minds set on doing a thing, whether them living at your house or them not living at your house, because sometimes this is also carried out by aunts and uncles, yeah, cousin. I know you don't want to say them thing there on the line here. But it happens. It happens, right? So if you have children, you have to be very mindful of these things happening, and when they do happen, or even before, you have to allow for your children to be able to come to you and speak to you about whatever it is that is happening to them. So you have to let them be aware of some of the things that should not take place between them and family members and strangers. And if they should happen, what they are expected to do. So you have to leave the lines of communication open so that they feel free to come to you. Now, can you imagine after telling her mother that this is taking place, that she then, the mother decides to put her in an asylum So but from there, so you know, so the mother definitely don't believe in what she is saying. The mother in her life goes on to say that she has two other children and those other children are not affected. So with them the two picking they have to do with she, right? That don't mean so because they grew up and were not, assaulted that this one that you have who is complaining, her complaint is not genuine. That don't mean it, right? If the same thing happened here with one of our, well, not the same exact thing, but he was saying that his childhood was not a good one. It was a male, and that his mother did not actually care for him. And then when he blew up and won, what Dalton Harris, he then won what is the name of England? I don't remember what the name right now. Some music show. It's not The Voice. I don't remember what it was. Oh Jesus, I can't believe I remember. But anyways, he spoke about his mother and the fact that his mother was not there for him. And you can't expect children to want to praise you as a parent, whether it be your mother or your father. You cannot expect for the child to want to praise you for things that you did not do. If you did not be a part of your child's life in a positive light. I know with my parents I have the same struggle, and I think many black people in general, right? The few I think who have not been affected by their parents' interactions with them, well, power to you. But I think the majority of black children, whether it be mother or father, they have some type of trauma associated with a parent. I think so. Whether it is because there is an absence of fathers in the home, we have a big problem with that, absentee fathers, or it could be the mother who has to now struggle to be more, both the mother and the father the in the whole family situation. The mother becomes very resentful of the father or takes out some of the frustrations onto the child, right? Or in this case, maybe Johnny being raised by other family members and the mother's absence in the home, she then became resentful of the absence of the mother. So, whatever the case might be, we go through a lot of trauma because of our socioeconomic um, issues that we have. And so many of the children are the ones who get the short end of the stick. But either way, I really wish for Jhonni Blaze that she gets some type of closure or some type of healing in regards to the situation. Again, I don't know the details of the situation, but it doesn't matter the details. The fact is that she is saying that she was, that word. I shouldn't even have mentioned it, the word on live. But either way, she feels that she went through something as a child and her mother was not really there for her. And as she stated there, if your mother lets someone does do that to you, what's there to care about? You're not going to care about anything else. And she is right. She is right, right? People don't have to come out here and prove anything to us. They don't have to tell their stories to us, but many a times when they do tell these stories, the stories are true. The stories are true because at the end of the day, nobody no one come on internet. Right now, I know I have experienced much issues with my family members. And despite wanting to talk about it, I'm not gonna come on the internet to talk about it because I don't think I can deal with the the inquiry of other people's opinions wanting to ask questions and pry and prod. I don't want to have to explain myself to so many people. Maybe one day I will get the courage to come out and speak on it. But until then, I have to deal with that internally, and it is not good, right? It is not good. It turns up in other aspects of your life, and sometimes it holds you back, right? So for anybody to come out and say, this is happening to me, this is happening with my relative, this is what X or Y has done to me, I think it takes a lot of courage to do that. And you get to a point where you no longer care and you just want, as she said, to get some form of healing from it. So for the mother to be there and whatever, and thinking that because she is crying, that means she is the one that is hurt in the situation, it tells a lot. Because I mean, if you are a mother and your child comes out and tells a bold face, all out lie on you, I would be very embarrassed as a parent. What did I do wrong for my child to come out and tell a lie like that on me? Right? And my first instinct would not be to come on social media and cry and whatever. My first instinct would be to find out what is going on with my child. Why has my child done this? Right? And I would try to deal with that privately. I would also, ask my child to come back in the internet sphere and say exactly what happened and the fact that it was resolved. So there are many ways in which she could have addressed it. Jhonni Blaze came back on and she addressed what her mother said, and she continued to say that she loves her mother. She loves her mother despite all of what her mother did. And one of the things that I heard coming out of it is that she was saying that her mother was, I think she was in the health sector, and at a point she was unable to work, and she was the one who was financially supporting her mother and her family, right? And all this pressure being placed on children by parents, that's the other thing that I don't like. I'm personally I had to rid myself of that responsibility, that chain that was around my neck, where one of my parents, who thought that it was my responsibility to help to take care of them. No, I don't think that should be the responsibility of a child. I think if you are invested in your child enough, you show them love, you show them care, you help to grow them up in the way that they ought to grow up, and you are there for them every step of the way throughout their life, that you won't have to expect for them to come back and treat you with the same respect. I believe in that 100%. And at the same time, I don't believe that as a parent you should be looking that it is your child who should come back and financially support you. You ought to do whatever is necessary to maintain yourself while you are able to, as well as to have something put aside for when you are not able to, right? If a child is supposed to assist you, that should come naturally, and it is the child who should see the need to come and assist, not to take over from you, not to do what you ought to have done for yourself. And that goes into, there's a range of things we could talk on, because sometimes too parents spend every dime and put it in the child, and then the child turn around and don't do nothing for the parents. We know about those situations too, right? But at the end of the day, still, that would be the parents' fault to do something like that. We can talk about that at another time. I'm always going off topic. But anyhow, as you said there, we wanted to discuss what was happening with Jhonni Blaze and what her mother came out and said. Who do you believe? Right? Who do you believe in the situation? Who is lying? At the end of the day, that's what you have to ask. Which one of these ladies are lying about the entire situation? I really don't think that Jhonni Blaze is lying. That's my feeling. But you can tell me what you think. That is all for tonight. If there's any other topic that I think I want to speak on, I might hop back in because we are here under the whole COVID lockdown situation. We can't go anywhere when after 8 p.m. So we're mostly home. And so I wanted to, getting involved with some of you online. I welcome the comments and we can, form some type of bond online. So this is one of the things that I'm using to cope. And I hope that there will be some additional subscribers. People will subscribe to the channel and we can talk and share comments and viewpoints about different topics. So that's all that I have for you tonight, and not tonight, sorry, for now. And so I will leave you now. Thank you for listening. Bye.